Yeah.
Okay.
Sad.
Welcome, Red Rook fans. We're the old men from Old Man Reviews, but today we are not reviewing a movie, but the career of one of the most influential filmmakers in history. I mainly wanted to talk about this today because my friend over here, Carlos, as y'all know, is probably one of the biggest zombie fans. No, I'm sorry, the biggest zombie fan I've ever met. So,
What makes you say that?
so I'm going to get over to him and just ask, what brought you on to zombie films?
Funny question is, I still remember. I kind of brings my love of riff tracks.
Okay, yes, we
into
both,
it.
y'all know, we both really love riff tracks. We think that Mike Nelson and the boys are some of the funniest freaking guys in the world, and it's what we do when we feel down.
Yeah, exactly. So we watch and everything. But when I was, I don't know, I might have been 6 or 7. TBS.
The voiceover thing they did?
It was called Laugh Riffs, or I don't remember what it was
I don't
called.
remember what it's called, but it was the funniest one.
They had it late at night. It was like 10 o'clock. I remember watching it, and it was Night of the Living Dead version. And I was watching, getting scared, and of course you hear the guys making comments in the background. I was like, what is this? So not only was I introduced to riffing of movies, but also I was introduced to, of course, with the Best Buy sticker still on there, Night of the Living Dead. And that's been one of my all-time favorite movies, along with the whole trilogy, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, Survival of the Dead. So I was watching that, and I still remember watching Day of the Dead. It was on USA, heavily edited.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to a school dance, and I was like, what is this? And I sat down, like, getting ready. I was like, I've never seen this before. What is this? It was like a 6th grade or 7th grade dance. And I actually stayed for a whole hour, and I actually missed part of the dance because I was watching Day of the Dead. So, Dawn of the Dead, sorry. As you can tell, it's a lot of the Deads.
Of the Deads.
But that's how I got introduced, and my love has not waned. Even though there's been some stuff out there that kind of sucks, but yeah, my love has not waned.
No, he's been a zombie fan for as long as I've known him. It's one of the first things we started talking about. Because, I mean, just about everybody has their classic horror villains that they love, you know? For me, it's werewolves. And there's vampire peoples out there, mummy people out there. I don't know anyone who thinks the Creature from the Black Lagoon is the best thing ever, but for the most part...
I love the guy, but they don't make anything. Like in Monster Squad.
Yeah.
I thought he was the best one, and that was it. He just came out and did this.
But, you know, it's a cool thing. It's also a really sad thing is zombies as we know them in the classic form were created by Romero, and he's the only person, he was the only person left alive who did that. I mean, no one else who corrected Dracula, Bram Stoker, and Frankenstein and all of them were created by people a long time ago. This guy was alive during our age, and he created something that's classic and that's used by everybody.
Right.
And will be remembered forever. And
yeah,
that's a sad thing that we're missing.
It was when I heard his passing, it was almost like a mentor.
Yeah.
Passing away. Even though I never met the guy, and I wanted to get his signature, and he hardly did any stuff around in Texas, which we're filming at. But I really wanted to meet him, and sorry to say that I'm not going to. Maybe in heaven, George.
I saw stuff like he did when he was younger, especially the comedic one. I remember that one because it made me laugh because the joke was, they did a whole joke, the whole joke in the thing was that the zombies were party guests who were coming to a party and they were hungry. And the girl who was crying all the time was throwing the party and she forgot the food. And I thought that was hilarious. But I didn't know who Romero was till later, a few years later, probably 88, 89 on HBO, I saw The Creep Show.
Ooh, good one.
And that's when I first learned about that man. And then because of that, I remember because he was like one of the first directors. I was like, I saw a movie and went, I want to know who made this.
Right.
Because I don't do that often. It's a rare thing usually.
Well, especially on directors, you can always tell in some still shots of films who they are.
Yeah.
Like John Carpenter, he always does a towards the back more anamorphic
Yeah.
Hitchcock, he does more of a mid.
Yeah, that mid shot.
You know.
And they all have their like styles.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you why, but every time I see a Spielberg film, I know it's a Spielberg film. Not anyone telling me, just looking at the footage.
The zoom in.
I mean, it's just something you notice about people. Sam Raimi, probably one of my favorite directors. I always know when it's one of his films. Yeah, so this guy, this guy is loved by all of them. There is not a director, I mean, Hitchcock probably not, but most of the modern day directors love this guy and praise about him. Hell, Carpenter said that a huge reason that he did what he did was because of Romero.
Yeah.
Seeing that movie when he was in film school and went, yeah, we can make movies. We can make movies for not a lot of money, and we can make movies, and they can
one
be
of
good.
the first few small budget movies that got a huge return.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they inspired John Carpenter. Inspired Wes Craven to go ahead and do
Yeah,
small
Craven, I
budget.
forgot about it, yeah. Small budget, and come on, let's face it, small budget horror films are usually the best ones.
Yeah, because you have to use your imagination and not CGI blood.
Yeah. I mean, even when you think about like Jaws, the reason why that's interesting is they couldn't afford the shark very much, and Spielberg had to become creative. That's the kind of thing. And this guy showed the world that you can do it, and he did a freaking amazing job. So talk about other zombies. Let's talk about the other zombie movies after him. The ones that are not made by him, they're obviously inspired by him.
Well, I want to bring up. I'm going to use props. Is that cool?
That's what you can do whatever you want.
Y'all probably have not. This one. I don't know if you probably not do Zoom or anything, but Night of the Living Dead was remade in 1990 by the makeup artist Tom Savini, who actually worked with George Romero on Dawn of the Dead and also Day of the Dead. So he remade this one, and if y'all haven't seen this, check it out. I remember seeing in the paper saying Day of the Dead, or sorry, Night of the Living Dead being remade, and I was like, ooh, I want to see that. And this is pretty good. You can tell that Tom Savini, who worked with Romero quite a bit, took a lot of love to make this film. If y'all haven't seen it, check it out. And it's a little different from the original, but this is one that was inspired by it, of course. And God, I have a lot of movies, guys, about that. But Day of the Dead, which is after Dawn of the Dead. Well, should we? Let's talk about Dawn of the Dead since it's more. Dawn of the Dead, 1979.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone was talking about commercialism and everything being set in the mall, and what I liked about it when I was a kid was like they get to run around.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about commercials when I saw it when I was a kid. It was just like, dude, I want to play around in a mall. I just want to go crazy in the mall.
And being chased around and almost eaten. That's the ultimate play of you're it, or trying not to get it.
And it became a thing. Like, you've seen other like zombie things where they just go in malls because that just seems like an entertaining thing. Like games too. I can't remember the name of the game. That game where you're a photographer and you're stuck in a mall. Doesn't matter what the hell the name of the game is.
I played both 1 and 2.
You played them all.
Yeah. God.
Again, other games, games that would not have been around if it wasn't for Romero. The Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, which Romero did write a screenplay for Resident Evil. Oh, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
He was commissioned to do that. They asked him to see Resident Evil 1996. The video game came out. Everybody loved it. They're like, wow, this is like zombies. Let's get the master to do it. Wrote a whole screenplay. Studios didn't like it.
And of course they didn't.
They didn't like it. So they got somebody almost as good, in case you didn't know, it was sarcastic, as P.S. Anderson. What was his name?
P did. Where's Elizabeth when we need her?
I don't even care to remember this guy because he's done 5 or 6 Resident Evil movies that just sucked. First one was good.
First one was good. I liked
and then not as gory as it should be. But in any case, inspired him, and also without him, I don't know. Maybe it was a bad thing that George Romero inspired this guy.
Well, there's
Zack Snyder.
There's no like low. I mean, there's no problem. Just because he inspired people doesn't mean they're all freaking winners.
Yeah. Zack Snyder, Dawn of the Dead, 2004, the remake, introduced the fast zombie.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fast zombies.
Now there were fast zombies, but not the ones that were like marathon.
Yeah, like total sprint monster like. Yeah, that just seemed wrong.
Really, really weird. Because if that was the case, then the whole human population would be done in a few days.
Yeah, it seemed to be should be gone. I mean, for crying out loud, fast zombies suck. I mean,
it just goes to
what
show.
would you do?
Yeah, it goes to show like right now, this day and age. Even then, it was like just like instant gratification. Let's do this quick. It's like no, guys, you're gonna build up to it.
Yeah, that was part of the thing of the slow moving zombies. You're right, the build up to
the build up.
Because people like run away and they're slowly coming, but you're like, well, I mean, they keep coming. We have to do something.
It wasn't the fact that it was slow; it was the fact that it was non-stop incoming. And yeah,
and numbers. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, a lot of really fast zombies. What are you gonna do? You can't really. I'm just not a big fan of that. I really didn't like the 28 either. I've never been a big fan of those.
28 days later.
Yeah, any of the 28s, I've just never been a big fan.
Yeah, and 20 days later, a lot of people are saying it's not a true zombie film because it's a rage virus that takes over everybody. Which Shaun of the Dead, another
Shaun of the Dead,
Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, they were inspired by Romero.
They did a great job.
And they even made a joke about it in Shaun of the Dead when they're like, humans affected by monkeys. I was like, this theory was complete shit, and then they like go off. You have to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. Which I'm glad that true hardcore zombie lovers even are like fast zombies. Get the f out of here. You're done.
There's Zombie Land, which
oh yeah,
Romero actually talked about. He said after he saw this, he couldn't do zombie movies anymore. Because you can't make a small, low-budget zombie movies after.
Sorry, I want to show off my Shaun of the Dead steelbook.
Yes, it's really cute.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
No, he gave up doing. He didn't want to do zombie films after The Walking Dead. Because he said
in an interview, he said Zombieland was the one where he was like, no more, don't want to do it anymore.
He might have said don't want to do it anymore, but with Walking Dead, he was like, this genre is.
Well, that's because it probably destroyed it. Like oh man, I can't remember his name right now. The guy did Fright Night. But like it'd be like it's kind of like what happened with him, where vampires were stupid and people were making fun of them, and then he turned it around and made them cool again. And then he lived long enough to see Twilight and went, oh okay, well, y'all ruined my stuff again. I think that's what Romero felt with the.
I was about to say Roddy McDowell.
That's what he probably felt about Walking Dead. Like by the time he got to Walking Dead, it's like, well, now this is kind of just played out.
He did say in an interview that it was like it's just a soap opera. Zombies have never actually been the center. It's always been humans.
Yeah.
But he said that was just it's a soap opera, guys. It's like, what else can you do with it? So
played out as it is, me and Carlos are huge iZombie fans. We think that's an awesome.
Chili powder.
Yes, we think the lore of that show and the new take they gave on it. They're still like zombies, but at the same time they gave this whole new take that's just better. And you get, I'm gonna say it again. You're gonna get bad stuff too, like Warm Bodies. We went to watch Warm Bodies.
Oh my god,
fucking sucked.
It was emo zombies.
Emo zombies.
The only good thing about it was Rob Corddry. I was freaking afraid of his. The comedian guy.
Yeah, he's funny as hell in anything he does. But the point is, this man just think about all the stuff he just inspired people to do, and he's gone now, and we are very sad about that. So we decided to talk about it a little bit on film. Man, zombies. Okay, so let's deal with this one. I know you've read books and stuff.
Yeah.
What zombie story would you like to see made into a film?
Well, it actually did happen, but it didn't happen the way I wanted it to. It was World War Z with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Because I read Max Brooks, son of Mel Brooks. I read his Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z. And it was more interesting to look back on how civilization actually combated every zombie attack throughout the countries. And then the Brad Pitt, PG-13 version. Can you edit out the? No, I better not.
You can do it. No, I'll do it right
now. It was good. It was fast paced, which I kind of knew that was gonna happen. But there was no blood, no gore, family-friendly zombie film. How do you do that, Brad?
Yeah, you don't.
I don't know. Why? I don't understand. It was suspenseful. They redid the last third of the movie with the future Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi.
Nice.
That's the Who thing. And that one, that part of the movie is more suspenseful than the other stuff that we had. And it was very minimalistic, which I'm glad that they went ahead and spent tens of millions of dollars to reshoot the last third of the movie. And it was good compared to what they were talking about. But you asked about the worst one. I'm hoping that they actually improve it because David Fincher signed on to do World War Z 2, which I don't know where they're going to go with that.
Is it going to really continue? Because it really continues. I don't know how you want to watch it, but if it's like something new, they really should. I usually say don't reboot things, but if you want to reboot something, reboot World War Z, because that fucking needs to be done better.
Hard R. And David Fincher only directs hard R movies.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, man.
2020, right? I think it's coming out. I don't know.
So, okay. Thank you for listening to us talk about Romero and how much we're going to miss the guy and how much he meant to the film industry. I'd also like to say goodbye to Joan Lee, who died around the same time. In fact, a little bit before, I think the day before Romero passed away. Wife of Stan Lee, who, if you know who Stan Lee is, where the hell have you been for the last 15 years? Stan Lee means a lot to me and to Carlos and to most young people. And Joan Lee and Stan Lee were married for 70 years. Longer than most people have been, to live. You know, a lot of people die in their 60s and they made 70 years of marriage work.
Did you hear how he met her?
I believe I do, but go ahead. You want?
Goddamn.
Stanley, I know a lot about that man.
So he went to the apartment of the girl that he was gonna take out on a date, and he went there, and she wasn't there, but Joan entered the door, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, "You want to go instead?" And she's like, "Okay," and that was it. They went out dancing, you know.
I heard the same story, except for me it was they were meeting at a bar. It was like a blind date. He was meeting at a bar. But it was the same story, pretty much, except for that. But yeah, he said he loved her first fucking day they met.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. And they got married. She was also Madame Spire on the Spider-Man cartoon that we watched as
From the
kids.
90s.
I hope she made it to see Spider-Man Homecoming, because that was a very well done Spider-Man movie. And, Stan Lee, if you're listening, please hold on a little longer. We want you around for at least to the end of Infinity Wars or something, because you deserve to see all this amazing stuff that you created in your life.
Yeah.
See see what's happening now. It's amazing. You're an incredible man. And we're sorry your wife died. Anything else you'd like to add?
Martin Landau, but he just passed away a few days ago.
Golly.
Martin Landau. Mission Impossible, watched with my dad, and when they revived it for TV, and then also for Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, 96. Martin Landau, and yeah.
Yeah, you know you're old when all the people you loved growing up are dying, and that's been happening this the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But not to bring that down or anything, we just wanted to commemorate George A. Romero and those who passed for the past few weeks, and want to make sure that we know that as movie buffs, film buffs, we appreciate everything you all have done. We appreciate everything, how you've impacted our lives, not only just us, but everybody that we know. And a lot of our friends get together and talk about film, talk about many different topics. And it's due to these creators why we get together. It's due to these creators why we're doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
Why we're doing Red Rook.
Red.
A lot of cider, guys.
Red
Rook
Rook
Films. Red Rook Entertainment. So thank you guys, and we'll miss you.
We will.
Until next time,
We'll try to be a lot more happier. Or
Yeah.
grumpier, I guess, than sad next time.
grumpy old men, yeah.
Yeah, I think the next one's going to be pretty good, so please turn in next Thursday. Have a wonderful time, and see you soon.